Unheard of.
What is up, everybody? We are back yet again. Your two favorite boys. It's ABG on your left
Yo,
side of the screen, and it's me, little J Ray. However, we've had we've had a
Lil J Ray.
we've
Okay.
we've had a couple weeks off. I was traveling and I couldn't really record, so we missed one. But a lot of things have been going on since then. And before we get into all that, I'll uh I'll ask you how your week was, man.
Ah man, pretty good, man. Last week, traveling, man, drove to West Virginia, and that wasn't I got to charge my PlayStation, my control. Oh my God, charge my laptop thing, and so I don't know how much time I got left on this, but we'll keep going. So, drove to West Virginia and did some work out there. It was really nice. No, there's not a lot of stuff out there. I was like right on the West Virginia and Ohio line.
Hmm.
So like I was like staying in Ohio, but we like drove like 20 minutes into West Virginia to work. Yeah, there's nothing out there. It's kind of like being out here in the middle of Georgia, middle of nowhere, Georgia. Like but it was nice. Ate some pretty good Mediterranean food.
Hmm.
Went to a decent brewery to eat. It was all right. All good. Safe travels
Nice.
and everything. What about you, man?
Well, since the break, um, Tiff's birthday present came to fruition. I think the day our last episode aired, where we did the fantasy draft, we had went to an Imagine Dragons concert, and that was pretty fun. Great band to see live. Um, Sound amazing. Put on a really good show.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
actually seen them live before
oh yeah.
too.
Well, let's see. When you went, they were still pretty big, but man, they were like huge. I mean, this stadium was packed. 22,000 people there. Macklemore was opening for them. Uh,
People still listen to Imagine Dragons?
they're still releasing music. Uh, but
That's crazy. They're still such a big draw. Like I probably haven't heard an Imagine Dragons song since they did that one song for the Suicide Squad movie.
oh
The
yeah,
first one. What
yeah,
was it? Sucker for Pain?
yeah. You should
Yeah.
you should listen to some of their new stuff. They released like 3 albums since that movie.
Dang. Yeah, that's a lot to listen to.
Yeah. Well, the two ones were from this past year and two with COVID and all that nonsense, but I think it's still pretty good music. I like listening to them. But yeah, that was fun. I actually learned how to somewhat trim my beard on my own over the break.
It looks
Uh,
good.
Thanks, man. I need to trim it again because my shadow's like starting to appear again up here from where I trimmed it. But I was just watching YouTube videos, and that when it gets long, man, it's heavy down here, so I had to get rid of it. But yeah, and then we flew out to South Carolina last week, which is why I couldn't record. Didn't have my laptop on me. And we were just visiting family. Tiff's sister Tia, her and her husband Rodney, they're twins. We were celebrating their first birthday down there, so it was a great time. Really fun. So yeah, folks, lots been going on. That's why we haven't been able to record for a while. Just a lot of stuff been happening. I know on the last episode I did say that we didn't have any of the fantasy draft like audio saved really, but then it turns out we did. So, if you listen to that, thanks for listening to it. Next year it'll be better. We'll sync up the video and audio because I'll have it tested beforehand. But having said all that, speaking of fantasy drafts and fantasy seasons, you know what's a fantasy? The Atlanta Falcons being good again.
Oh.
because it's never going to happen at this point. We are cursed. The first week of the season, we blew a 16-point lead to the Saints, and then this week we just basically um, gave false hope to where we could have beat the LA Rams, and then we didn't. So, initial thoughts on the Falcons so far, man.
This
Loving
is
the cat.
a look at his nice little bow tie, man. Like a oh man, you can't really see it. Hold on. Oh no. The green screen.
There we go.
He's a distinguished gentleman. Oh,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, what was your question?
About initial thoughts on the Falcons.
Um, you know, the definitely this season not a boring team.
No.
Not a boring team to watch. With week one, we looked pretty decent to start with, and then we just had that abysmal uh breakdown in the fourth quarter, which allowed the Saints to come back. And it looked I remember this one play at the end of the game, in the fourth quarter in the Saints game. There like there was this huge throw that Jameis did, and
Yeah.
our guys on defense just looked like they were standing there,
Yeah.
like they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what was going on. They were like, "Oh man, he's throwing the ball. Oh man, that guy caught the ball. Should we tackle him?" But other than that, this week they look like absolute garbage to start with,
They did.
and then they started to look better at the end in the fourth quarter. So, like, they're keeping it interesting. And I mean,
Yeah.
this
Until
week this week a win was probably a big ask, since
yeah.
they were playing against the defending champs. But I mean, when we got to like what was it like 21-3 at half,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this game is gonna be way out of hand by the middle of the third quarter. But then, I mean, to start the third, they got that touchdown. Uh, LA did,
Yeah.
and it went to 28-3. I was like, well, there's that score again. And things started to turn around. We got a touchdown, and then that block punt,
That was
like
nice.
that block punt was so nice. Like I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my God. And then when they got that fumble off Cooper Cup, bro, like I was like, oh, we looking good. But then when Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah.
caught the
Yeah.
interception, like I was like, oh well, at least they tried. But bro, when Mariota dropped back, when it was that fourth down, what was it fourth down or third down?
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's a
I
third
think it was
down conversion.
okay. When he dropped back, bro, and fell on his stomach, bro, I was like, ain't no way, ain't no way. Blow it up,
He
bro.
actually
Team up.
he actually completed that one when he got back
Yeah,
up.
he did though, which was crazy. But like when he stumbled, I was like, ain't no way. It like just reminds me of like last week when he took that snap straight to the stomach and dropped
Yeah.
the ball, and we could have easily converted that like it was like 3rd and 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3rd and 2.
Man.
And but yeah, they're a fun team to watch, even though we're losing badly. Like I'm still excited to see what they can do. And I mean, I think this season's pretty much going to be a wash. So
Oh yeah.
my expectations aren't very high. But if they can keep me entertained at least while I watch it, that'll be good.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Somebody in our group chat mentioned it. He is a former member of the show called The Thought Police. Um,
Former member.
sorry, he was a member of the former show, The Thought Police. Um, he was talking about Marcus Mariota basically just giving up as soon as the play starts, like immediately like running back into the side. And I think
Yeah,
that's how most plays have been going. But I mean, yeah, they're definitely fun to watch. I mean, I don't want to put it out there, but there is a quarterback we just lost. He's on another team now, and he ain't doing too hot either. And somebody said that he's got a terrible receiving core in our boys chat, but you know what? He had pretty good receiving cores all his life in Atlanta and didn't do too much. So you know what? I just want to say that those people can come on the show and defend themselves if they want, but I am still being proven right in that situation. However, the
hey, you hold on, wait. Let me get some things straight about your opinions on Matt Ryan. You don't think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, do you?
no, I do.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay. So do you think with his performance in the past couple of weeks being on the Colts,
yeah.
so do you think this is tarnishing his legacy now, or
I mean, I guess it depends on how he
do you
finishes the
think
season.
he's pretty much cemented?
I don't know. He did a lot of good stuff in Atlanta, so he's probably cemented. But it doesn't look good that the Indianapolis Colts brought him over as the guy because they couldn't do it with Philip Rivers and they couldn't do it with Carson Wentz. They're just like a quarterback carousel in Indy now. But they touted Matt Ryan as the guy to get them there, and so far it doesn't look too hot. But um, now I think he's Hall of Fame. I just my only problem is people will say things like, "Oh, Matt Ryan has the worst receiving core that he's ever had in Indianapolis right now." And then you look at Green Bay Packers, who just won against the Chicago Bears, and Aaron Rodgers is throwing to almost nobody. So I don't like the argument of receiving cores and everything. I think if you're going to argue that a quarterback is elite, it shouldn't matter who he's throwing to. Because outside of like Travis Kelsey, you know, Patrick Mahomes is throwing to a lot of different people now since Tyreek left,
Yeah.
and he's still looking pretty good. So no, I don't like the. I love quarterbacks, and I think a lot of them are really good. But my problem with the general argument is that losses are never blamed on them, and yet when teams win, they take a bulk of the credit, and I don't agree with that. Uh, Now I'm not. People think I'm a Matt Ryan hater. Hey, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just a contrarian. But I just think that he was at the helm of a lot of losses, and being the quarterback of that team, you got to sit with that. So that's just my overall opinion. Uh, but season's looking really good. This episode's obviously being recorded after the Sunday games. So I don't know how the Buffalo game's going to play out, but they looked really good week one. And
Yep.
man, I'd imagine they're going to do good on Monday night too.
So so back to the Falcons. What are your thoughts on these past couple weeks?
Oh, we suck. Yeah, we suck. But I mean, we're not going to go anywhere this season. But
No, no.
it has been a different it it's been a different type of offense this year, so it is fun to watch. Even with the absence of Calvin Ridley, which is crazy. It almost makes you think that with Ridley, we could stand a chance in these games if we could just actually manage the time better at the end of the game. But the Falcons are cursed, and we blow leads, and we don't win big games. That's apparently who we are now. We're just cursed.
I mean, yeah, with Drake London,
Yeah,
who caught his first touchdown of his NFL career this today,
yeah,
with Drake London, who's a budding star, and Calvin Ridley
yeah.
and Kyle Pitts, you know, like we we might actually look pretty good next season, you know?
It's true. And our defense really needs to keep a hold of the game in the second half. But yeah, I don't know about the quarterback situation next year. I think Desmond Ritter is probably going to get some snaps here and there. We'll see how he looks by the end of the season. But I mean, yeah, the Falcons could look really interesting next year, which is fun, and also heartbreaking because we know how it's going to end. Um,
There was one more question I feel like I wanted to ask you about the Falcons, but I forgot it. So I might jump back to it.
I my work league, uh, we've been talking in our teams about the Super Bowl picks, like way too early Super Bowl picks, and it doesn't look good to. Well, actually, it still looks pretty good because the way this team lost today was still not that bad. Um, I was actually saying that out of the AFC, I got a guy by the name of Lamar Jackson who's shooting for a huge contract and has been playing lights out so far. So I was actually calling Baltimore just on the sole fact that they faced a lot of injuries last year, but when they were healthy, they were really good. And so far this year, even with the loss to Miami, Tua just like Tua's on another level today. Uh, Bal- Baltimore still looks really good, um, even with that loss. And I only called Baltimore because I believe in the Buffalo hype, but usually the team that's overhyped never makes it. So I was like, I'll call him as my sleeper way too early.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know about the NFC. It's way too hot. So, but I definitely called the Baltimore.
I can see Baltimore coming out of the AFC, man. Um, but I don't know. I wouldn't. Maybe next. Ask me next week what my
Yeah,
too early pick is for both, and I might have an answer for you. But this week, there's a lot of teams that are looking really good right now,
yeah.
and there's a lot of teams that look like dumpster fires. But I mean, add add the Falcons to that list of dumpster fire teams. But
You know how it is.
yeah, man, like I mean, I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for fantasy this season as well. I feel like I got a fairly decent team on it. Did we did we tell our thoughts about our teams after the draft?
Well, we talked about it during the draft a lot, and then when it ended, it kind of ended, at least on the show. So, during the draft special, we did talk about the teams, but no, we haven't talked about it since.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I got a pretty balanced team so far, but I just need more depth on my bench, especially for when Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill have the same bye week.
But if they keep producing the way they're producing, you can take a loss that week. Like it
I
shouldn't
mean,
be a
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
Now they're not going to have 40-point games each week, but
no,
man, they're doing really good. My team, I think, is doing okay. Um, I mean, I'll have 2 wins, but I think there's a couple weak spots as far as defense and running back hasn't been so solid. But I mean, hey, 2 wins is 2 wins, so I'm not going to complain. um, and heck, we got a long season this year. We changed it to where we've got 15 games, I believe. Because everybody was complaining every year on, oh, there's this, we added an extra week in the season. Why didn't we add the extra week in fantasy last year? Well, they got it. That's what we did this year. So so we get an extra week, but still, I like my team. I think I've got one of the best sleeper picks off the waiver wire, which this happened last year. I picked up Cordarrelle Patterson off of waivers when he started showing out for Atlanta, and that paid
yeah.
off really well. And I picked up Curtis Samuel last week, who has been playing like lights out for Washington. He's Carson Wentz's number one target, and they're basically playing him like Debo Samuel because he runs and he's passing. So, well, he's catching passes. So, Man, I think that's gonna be another huge like pick I got off waivers.
I think I had. Did I get Curtis last season? Maybe. But yeah, I mean, he's solid.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good year, man. I like it so far. We've had a pretty good, fun fantasy year. Of course, it's only 2 weeks. I'm actually looking forward to our rivalry week, just because of the way we're doing it, which is something new that Colton suggested. But we didn't really talk about the punishments, and since we're not together, I decided that the punishments will just be that you drop on the waiver wire that week. So, uh,
Oh,
we're we're do
dang.
we're doing rivalry week, like week 12 in our fantasy league, and if you lose, you're gonna drop to the bottom of the list in waiver wires. Now, obviously, there's gonna be 6 losers. So, how do you drop to the very bottom? You lose by the worst margin.
Yeah.
Uh, so it'll go up like that. And then whoever wins by the best margin will get top priority that next week. So it should be pretty fun to implement something like that every year.
And who is my rival that we decided on? Randall?
Yeah, yeah,
That's so he already beat me first week, so I am looking for the dub
man.
uh come week 12.
Yeah. A couple of us will play each other again because I'll play Colton for my rivalry. Um, I think we swapped. What was it? I think we said Nick is gonna face Drew now as like real firefighter versus fake one for volunteer. Um, so that's gonna
Let's
be a
see what
fun week.
some of these matchups are uh come week 12. Oh no. I hope my one loss week 1 is my only loss come week 12, but who knows.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh my God, I didn't go to the right spot. I went to my own matchups.
Jesus.
Yeah, we got me and Randall. We got you and Colton,
True.
Nick and Drew, Bryce and Gage. What's their rivalry?
I think we're just calling theirs Georgia versus Auburn fans.
Okay, fair enough. Um,
Now, if Bryce or Gage want to come up with some real beef between each other, we can rename that.
should we work on like making these guys just beef with each other some more? So come rivalry week,
Yeah.
it's just like the tension's that much higher.
Yeah, let's start pitting each other, like pitting everybody against each other, their rivals. And Colton didn't get it when I said Walmart boys, like for you and Randall. And I was like, yeah, ABG worked at Walmart.
That's true, I did. Me and
Man.
Randall both passed Walmart boys now.
Yeah. So is Ethan. So it could have been
Yeah,
either one.
man. But yeah, very very much looking forward to this season of football. Definitely ready. I'm still ready for basketball to come back though, man. Like I know that's not the sport we're talking about right now, but I'm so excited.
How about them not kicking out the Phoenix owner like they did, Donald Sterling
That's
after
true. What
everything
did
came
he
out about
do?
him. He well, I can't say it in full because I only know what I've heard from other shows. I haven't actually read a lot of it, but from what they were saying on shows like Skip and Shannon, he was very misogynistic towards women, and he said a couple things that were they weren't questionably, they were pretty racist. Um, because he would say the N-word, um, but he would also say it something I think when he was talking about the hiring of like Monty Williams, he's like, these N's need an N to listen to. And I was like, oh
Hey,
snap.
yo, what?
That's what
Ain't
one of
no
the
way he said that.
that's what one of the shows said. That was in the report about what he said. Uh, Now I was thinking if that's true, then maybe they need to kick this man out. Now Adam
Yeah.
Silver said the only reason they didn't kick him out like they did Donald Sterling is because they don't have like audio proof like they did with Sterling. They just have reports.
Didn't they fine him though like 10 mil?
Yeah, $10 million and a year suspension.
Damn. Nah, that ain't enough, bro. He need to be out of here.
I mean, he's a billionaire, dude. 10 million to him. What is it? Nothing.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. But yeah, that ain't enough.
You ain't kidding, man. I was like, dang. Well, really, Adam Silver was just looking for like a sliver of proof, and then he was like, "I'll kick him out if there's proof," but he couldn't like prove it without a reasonable doubt,
Mm.
which I guess is the kicker. So yeah, basketball should be fun this year. I'm looking forward to that too. Um,
Oh, speaking of kickers though, did Rodrigo land on a new team? I saw he
no,
got waived.
he got waived. I do not think he landed on a new team as of the time of this recording. He is still a free agent, from what I hear. What did he do? I heard he was like kicking in some park with some kids or something, but nah, he's still a free agent. And odds are, most teams aren't looking for backup kickers. They'll just go find another one off the street. So
Oh yeah,
this man might be screwed if if he don't get a second chance like Young Ho Koo.
yeah, Young Ho,
Yeah,
Young Wei.
bro, I know, it was a joke.
Oh, okay. I was making sure. I was like, I know he. But didn't some other team just have to get a kicker? Damn, what
Mm,
team was that? I
I don't
forgot.
know,
They had just picked somebody up. They they could have got goggles.
man. I don't know.
I sure enough hate that for him.
Um, yeah, man, I don't
Oh,
know.
bro. I remember what I was gonna say now, bro. Last week when I was watching the Falcons, blow that damn lead to the Saints
Yeah,
while I was on the road going to West Virginia. And then when I made it there and I went to Walmart, there was this family of three, um, dad, mom, and son, and they all had on Saints jerseys. I was like, bro, why are there Saints fans out here? And I saw them. I think I had I think I had a Hawks hat on. And then I
man.
saw them and they saw me. And then like they saw my Hawks hat. I think they knew I was from Georgia. And then they like looked at me and I was like, man, sad. I was just like, bro, why like they followed me out here, bro. The Saints fans found me in West Virginia.
Dang, bro. I've surprisingly been seeing some Georgia fans out here lately, so that's been pretty good. Um, of course, the dogs, man. Oh, whew, we are just an amazing team this year. Uh,
All right, keep bragging.
yeah. But you know what? I hope for Rodrigo, Blankenship's sake, he's got an extra life. And speaking of extra lives, for our next topic, we're going to be talking about cats and some crazy things that people have been doing with them lately. So I am new to TikTok culture. But one of these videos I saw and I wrote it down because I was like, oh man, we gotta talk about this on the pod. Was I saw a video of a news story where somebody cloned their cat that had died, um, using DNA and some some actual company that does this type of thing in the lab, right? Super weird. but apparently this can cost like 30 to 35 grand, um, which is an insane amount of money. Now, to me, I understand when you want a certain breed of animal, but I don't like the idea of having an exact copy of one of your favorite pets. Now, my pets are a member of my family, but when they're gone, to me, they're gone. Like, I want to probably get their ashes and do something special, but I definitely won't be cloning them. That's a fact.
Yeah,
And I wanted to see
that's for
where
sure.
you stood on that.
Um, I guess I'll start with the story. So, this woman that my mom used to work for, pretty close friend to the family,
Mm,
um, she had a German Shepherd
okay.
named Fred, and like she had a bunch of German Shepherds all named Fred. Like she would only get one at a time and name him Fred.
Oh my
But
gosh.
then like anytime one would die, it was basically like she was getting a clone copy because like these German Shepherds always looked alike
Yeah.
and they were always just named Fred. And like they were all always just like really nice dogs, like really nice German Shepherds and everything. They all pretty much acted the same, so it basically like was like she was cloning them. But I mean, I never I never thought anything crazy about it. Like I was like, oh, well, here's. I think she probably had like two or three Freds that I had seen in my lifetime. Um, like I said, not at the same time, but like when one would pass, just
Yeah.
another one. And I always thought it was interesting. It's definitely not anything that I would do.
Hmm.
I could never like. It's just
Yeah.
like you said, when you have an animal, that animal is a part of your family,
Yeah.
and I feel like that would kind of be like tarnishing the memory of that animal to try to replace it with one that looked exactly like it or name it
Yeah.
the same thing over and over again, you know? Like, you know, if I lose an animal and I want to get another one, I want it to be something new, something different, you know?
Yeah.
Be
I,
able to make new memories with this new animal.
I think it's and the scientists behind this lab too, right? They even tell these people, "Hey, this animal is not going to act like your cat, like the one you had. They're just going to look the exact same." Um, so that's what's even weirder about it. More weird because like well, we have three cats, and to me, each one has their own personality. And so like if you get one that's just looks exactly alike, hoping it'll be the same thing, yeah, it's really weird. It's like, why are you trying to replicate something good that you had instead of like just yeah, like you said, making new memories with another one. I don't know, it was really weird. I just had to put it out there because I was like, I don't know anybody that would think of doing this. I think taxidermying your pets is also really weird.
Yeah, I think that's super weird too. But maybe like because death is so permanent, maybe people look to find ways to maybe not beat death, but like to where, you know, maybe since it took that thing that you loved to maybe try to get it back, you know. Maybe that's a maybe that's a reasoning why.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can understand it.
Not to get super serious or anything like that, but
Yeah. No, I got you. So I just want to put it out there for all you pod lovers, comment on this video in our Facebook page. Tell us what you think. Like, would you clone your cat um if they passed away? I don't know. To me, it was still really weird, but you know, on to bigger and better things. Speaking of leaks and DNA, uh, let's talk about this GTA 6 leak, okay? Um, because I just gotta say, it was brought to our attention today. There was this leak, and it supposedly, um, now a lot of comments say it looks exactly like GTA 5, but from what I read, it's just called like pre-alpha development. And supposedly in this stage, they'll use elements from older games until they update it. But the editing definitely looked like something new to me.
Um, yeah, man, like people are in a uproar over
Yeah,
this leaked footage of this GTA game. And to me, it looks pretty good. I kind of some of the physics look different.
yeah,
Um, but like I feel like one thing that people aren't realizing that is that Rockstar, to in my opinion, isn't they're not like these other game developers. Like they try to come up with something fresh and new every time one of their games releases,
yeah.
GTA 5 heavy change from GTA 4. I mean, a lot of time had passed. And I mean, even with Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out, um like that and in between like GTA 5, I mean, pretty much well, what was the time frame? When did Red Dead Redemption 2 come out? In like 2018,
Yeah, I think
something like
so.
that. Um so what that's like a 5 year difference between that and GTA 5. And I mean, they look totally different. And I mean, they are totally different games, but like just in terms of that 5 years,
Mhm.
like it looked beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I feel like give Rockstar some benefit of the doubt here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is obviously some footage that was not meant to hit the online web, but somehow it leaked, and yeah, people are just not giving them any credit anymore. You know what I'm saying? It looks like crap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people they just gotta understand, hey, this thing's in development. Uh I actually thought it looked kind of cool. And to me the idea of having one of the protagonists as a female is also really cool. Um, because it's something they haven't done before. And yeah, Rockstar, and people should know by now, especially by the fact that how many times they're releasing GTA 5, is they're not going to release a new game until it's completely finished in their eyes. I mean, heck, they, what was it? They delayed Red Dead 2 by like a whole year, when we got the first date, just because it wasn't up to standards. And sure enough, when it came out, it was worth it. So, the fact that it's announced it's been in development, um, extremely happy, and I don't really care about the leak because I know that when it's finished, it's gonna look really good because that's what they do.
Yeah, man. Like Rockstar, they have a long history of being like a top tier developer. So like I'm definitely patiently waiting for GTA 6, and I am not hitting the panic button just yet,
No,
just based on these videos that leaked out.
no, I wouldn't either. Um, and which I gotta say, when we get Drew back on, I purchased GTA 4 recently for my Xbox, and because that's his favorite game to date, and yeah, it actually does live up. It's pretty good. Uh, so that'd be fun to talk about when he gets back on. Yeah, I'm not worried. Rockstar is gonna kill it just like they always do with new games.
Dang, I might need to replay GTA 4.
It's pretty good, man. So far, it's actually pretty decent. Of course, it's funny to see how the times change because he's got like a internet cafe he has to go to, which back then was kind of realistic, when the internet was first coming up. Um, and Wi-Fi wasn't like a big thing, so it's really funny to see how times change, especially through these games. So yeah, I'd go give it a replay if you yeah, if you want to. Tiff is actually playing my Xbox probably as we speak. So hey, maybe we're on to something here, guys. Of course she's playing not a game like Rockstar or she's not playing like GTA or Red Dead, but I thought it was really cool that she's kind of getting into the Xbox now.
What has she been playing?
It's like a Disney version of Animal Crossing, like Dreamlight Valley or something like that.
Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So I don't want to talk about it this week, but I want all of our, well, I say it like anybody's actually going to do it. Nobody's going to do it when I say this, but I want actually I don't want you to do it because it'd be a waste of your time. But Tiff and I had like a date night at home where we watched a movie, right? Just movie night. And we were scrolling through thinking, oh, what's some new movies on things like Netflix and stuff that we could watch? I suggested Day Shift by which has Jamie Foxx in it. And we didn't watch it because we both thought, well, really Tiff thought, because it was her suggestion, that Queen Latifah is a better actor. And I would agree. So on that premise, we watched, well, actually, I don't know, man. Jamie Foxx has some really good roles. I don't want to get sidetracked. But anyways, based on one of those premises, right? We watched this new movie with Queen Latifah and Ludacris called End of the Road, which is like a road trip thriller. You, there's a bunch of road trip movies out there. Now, Arthur, you should probably watch this movie and tell me what you think about it. Tiff thought, and me for that matter, we thought it was horrible. Uh,
Oh God.
dude, the writing was just like way off. There's so much stuff that's unrealistic in this movie. Um, some of it's real, and then it goes really overboard really fast. Uh, so maybe you don't want to waste your time with it, but when we watched it, Tiff still can't get it out of her head of how bad it was. She she's like she's like, how did they make a movie like just based on that script? And I said, hey, everything gets greenlit at Netflix. That's been a joke for a while.
Oh, it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's on
All
Netflix
right, I'm gonna check it out.
called
It's
End of the
called
Road.
End of the Road.
Yeah, now obviously I don't want you to waste your time, but it might be so bad that it's kind of funny. So
Oh God.
that was just our opinion of the movie. If people want to go home and waste some time and watch a bad movie, in our eyes. Now, take that with what you will. But after we looked it up, it was also pretty horribly reviewed as well.
I mean, I haven't even heard of this movie yet, so like
Yeah.
that must be also be a testament to how bad it is.
Well, it's funny. Tiff was saying, "Well, I thought it was like the number one movie on Netflix." I was like, "Babe, that's not saying much. Morbius is number two." I mean, Netflix does not have a lot of good original stuff lately. But
Unfortunately.
yeah, so I just want to put that out there that that was something we did. And if anybody's looking to waste their time on something terrible and funny, because like I said, it's probably so bad that it's kind of funny. Um, I'd check that movie out. Um, yeah, man.
I rec I recently
Huh?
checked out I recently checked out Nope. Have you
Oh,
seen that?
yeah, that's good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I loved it. Without getting into too many spoilers, because hey, we could. That's a whole nother topic. Uh, but man, I really, really like Jordan Peele's movies because he just does this whole different take on everything, and even the way that he did the Alien was really different and cool.
Yeah, bro, like that like ending scene
Yeah,
with I mean, you know what I'm talking about, but like I just I still can't explain like what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause it just looked. insane.
Yeah, it was a really good film.
But
I loved it.
yeah, I definitely like the tension that builds in the movie, and like really love the like nighttime scenes and how it
Yeah.
was done. And I think I read somewhere that like even for the nighttime scenes, they actually shot in the daytime
Mm,
and then just edited edited it to make it look like night.
yeah.
So I mean, it still looked really good, and it was a pretty good story. Um, so yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to mention that.
We
So
should
if you
talk.
want to check, if you haven't seen that and you want to check out an actual good movie,
Yeah.
I would suggest you check that one out.
That one's really good. It is not on the scale of End of the Road. um, Dang, we should talk about that movie next week because that one's really good. I like it. Um, yeah, folks, we are nearing the end of the road when it comes to this episode as it speaks. So, I'm gonna get started with some closing thoughts for everybody. If you're a Georgia fan, feels good to be one because we got the best team in the country right now, and I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed that the season's gonna turn out exactly like last one. Um, so hey, have a great week, everybody, and you can find me on Twitter at Jared Evans, and I'll pass it to ABG.
Closing thoughts for me. I'm I for one am glad that the weather is cooling down finally. So it's not too hot anymore. It's still warm enough though for you to go out and have some fun outside. Um, so yeah, do that if you want. Stay safe out there, everybody. Um, if you're an Auburn fan, you're not looking too good. If you're a Falcons fan, you're looking even worse. So
Preaching to the
so
choir.
just yeah, give your local Falcons fan a call. Just reach out to them this week and let them know you're thinking about them. Check in on them, see how they're doing. But yeah, I mean that's it for me, man. You can find me on Twitter at young without the O underscore ABG. You can find us as an entity on Twitter and on Instagram at unheard underscore of pod. Facebook, look us up, unheard of. We there. YouTube, we got links to the YouTube. And the only place you can find us streaming currently is Spotify. So unheard of, man. Look us up.
It's true. It's true. So, sorry for the 2 week break yet again, folks, but hey, life is picking up. I also have two children and they got activities going on, so is what it is whenever stuff comes up. And Arthur's got a, traveling job, so we're always doing something. So, um, but yeah. So thank you for joining us yet again. It was a good episode. Really a great one in my opinion. And as always, we love you, we hear you, and we hope you hear us here at Unheard of.
Peace.
Unheard of.